It's a rare form of cancer that affects young men, but when discovered early, it can be very treatable.
Our next guest was diagnosed with testicular cancer 2 years ago, and he's raising awareness of the disease with a good sense of humor.
My name is Borja. I've been diagnosed with testicular cancer. That's right. I lost a nut. This happened back on October 28th, 2017, and my life has changed ever since, and I still can't comprehend it. And every guy that I've talked to who's been through the same thing as me, they just want to put it underneath the rug and never speak about it ever again. Man, that. I don't want you to feel sorry for my sob story.
Welcome this morning, Mark Borja, along with his dad, Dr. Michael Borja. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I think what we got to see of your video is just fantastic. I love that you're talking about this. We mentioned you were diagnosed with testicular cancer. You were 23 years old. What was the first sign for you that something wasn't right?
It was one day after work. I felt like a weird sharp pain. It was like subtle, but at one point it felt really heavy, and I checked down there, and it was enlarged actually. So it felt very hard too. So I actually called my dad, since he's a pediatrician, and I was like, Dad, there's something wrong with me here. I feel like this definitely doesn't feel right, and this doesn't look right. So yeah, and that's what happened. So my dad took a look and checked it out, and then said, like, yeah, we definitely need to take you to the hospital right away. So. And
then you found out you had cancer. What? Yeah. How are you doing now? 2 years later?
Oh, 2 years later, I'm cancer free, which is really great. So, we had to go through a radical orchiectomy where I had to get my left testicle removed. And then from there, we've just been monitoring. They gave me an option if I could do radiation therapy or chemotherapy, and I told them I didn't want that at all. So I was like, because they told me I had an 85% chance of getting away scotch-free. So I was like, I'll take that.
Okay.
And so we've been monitoring before that was already monitoring 3 CT scans and blood work every 3 months, and then after that, no signs. So we've been able to extend it to every 6 months, and so I'll have my checkup for the rest of the year next week, actually. So.
Well, Doc, take me through it as being a doctor and a dad as you see your son, and what are some of the symptoms that you recognize, and what are some of the overall symptoms that men should need to be aware of?
Well, testicular cancer presents as a painless lump, swelling, or enlargement of one of the testicles. So normally you can have one of the testicles just a little bit smaller than the other, but it will be very unusual if you have one that really grows larger, and there will be a big difference with the other testicle. And it could present also as a discomfort in that area, in the groin area, or in your scrotum. So you have to be aware of those things, especially like young men, because this is a common cancer in that age group, but you don't really hear it as much, because you know the one that's more common is the prostate cancer. But it affects young adults.
And that's really why you want to talk about this, Mark, right? I mean, you're now an advocate for the disease. Why is this important to you?
Oh, it's because just going through it physically was hard, but mentally it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. Just trying to even be open about that and going into a conversation and telling people, oh yeah, this is what happened to me. It was really hard. So like, I wanted to turn a bad thing into a good thing and be like, you know, if I'm gonna be like 100% me, I want to be 150% like about what I'm doing, and I want to like actually make a difference. Because when I did my research and try to see who I can help and what I can do, there's actually no one in Charlotte that was actually doing any advocacy or anything like that to raise awareness for testicular cancer in Charlotte. So I talked to people in the Testicular Cancer Foundation, and they told me there was few and far between that were even really talking about that in Charlotte. So I was like thinking, like, you know what, I can do something about this.
When you are with a campaign called Save a Nut.
Yes, Save a Nut. That's what we're calling it now. So,
I like the humor in it too. Talk about the Save a Nut campaign.
Yeah, so I've heard of things like for like breast cancer, like Save the Boobies and all that stuff, but I've never heard of Save a Nut. So I figured like we could really run with this and then use this as an extension for the Testicular Cancer Foundation to help raise funds and awareness for them. So
there's a fundraiser coming up this weekend.
It's called Paint Your Balls Out. So.
Paint Your Balls Out.
So, what we
That's
do,
what it's called.
Exactly. So what we do is you turn a canvas like this, and then our whole idea is to make balls look beautiful. So it turns into an awesome painting like this. So it's a wine and paint night. So live music, people will be painting beautiful balls. They really show.
Paint your balls out.
Exactly.
Paint Your Balls Out event. It's this Saturday at Red Clay Cider Works from 6 to 10. For tickets, go to their Facebook page, or you can follow them on Instagram. I think you were very brave. I think it's awesome you're out there sharing your story and talking to people. And
Thank you.
A pleasure to meet you.
Yes, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for having us.
What Mark's doing.
You should be. You should be.
Save all the nuts.
Save a nut.
We're saving them all.
Yes.
All right, coming up on Charlotte Today this morning, whiten your teeth without a trip to the dentist.
And how you can brighten your smile with just a simple swab.
He genuinely wanted to make a difference, and he genuinely wanted to help.